Do you feel like your painting lacks something? Do you want to enhance your artwork? Then keep watching as I will show you 5, yes, you heard me right, 5 different watercolor texture techniques that will be sure to make your painting stand out. Hi guys, and welcome to my first watercolor techniques tutorial. A lot of people ask me, how do you make your paintings so detailed? And you know, my answer is very simple. I just add a lot of different textures. Textures can really enhance your painting and make it pop out. However, I realized that a lot of beginner artists don't know these simple techniques in creating textures. So I thought to create a 2-part video and just explain to you how different textures can really make your painting come to life. I will explain how to easily navigate through these techniques and really make them work for you. Some textures are very simple to make, while others require a little bit more trial and error, but I have done all of the trialing for you, so all you have to do is watch and learn from this video. But before we begin, make sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. Hit that like button so YouTube can show this video for more people and more people can learn about texture making. And if you would like to be notified in the future when I upload new video, make sure to hit that little bell icon too. Now I will stop rambling and let me teach you a thing or two that I know about texture making. Firstly, you will need pure alcohol. Then grab a pipette. You can get it pretty cheap off eBay. Now you can start painting the area that you want to have texture on and making sure that that area is pretty wet, as alcohol won't work on a dry surface. Now with your pipette, dispense a few drops of alcohol on the surface. Just make sure you don't dispense the entire alcohol in one go, because it's just gonna create a huge blob of alcohol and it's not gonna look like any kind of texture. Now you just want to work your way through the entire background or whatever you're painting. Don't worry about finishing all in one go, because you want the surface to be wet and not dry, so you might have to work in bits. There's a different way of creating tiny little dots. You can just gently press the pads and onto the paper instead of dispensing alcohol drops, and because it's still got the alcohol on the pipette's end, it will make these tiny little dots that will still look really beautiful. Now I'm gonna finish this sketch by scattering a few dots in dark blue color. I'm just gonna add a little bit more texture to make it stand out even more, because I still got a few of the areas that are quite wet. The little dots are gonna nicely blend into the color, creating this lovely wash, while on some places it's just gonna look like tiny little dots scattered around, but it creates this sort of ocean type feeling. Now I'm gonna finish it off by adding a little bit of gold, because I feel like gold could actually look really nice in here. I'm just gonna add a few lines, just create a little bit of a wavy pattern to add a little bit more to the entire sketch. You don't have to do it, you can just experiment with different bits that you want, and there's no right or wrong. I just felt like this little sketch needed a little bit of gold. As you can see, these alcohol drops add a lot of texture to the background. It really brings it to life and makes it pop. You can create a beautiful feeling of the galaxy or ocean or anything that pops into your head. And with that being said, let me show you another way of adding more texture to your paintings. For this part, you will need just a simple toothbrush. Now let me quickly paint the area I want to add some texture on. It's also beneficial if you are a beginner to see what colors go well together. When your area is dry and you're ready to add some texture, choose a color that you think will go well with your painted area. I chose red. Now either straight on a color you're using or on a palette, create a pool of that color by adding quite a bit of water. Grab your toothbrush and gently dab that color. You want the entire surface of your toothbrush to be covered with that color. Now with the tip of your thumb you want to brush the bristles gently. It creates this soft splatter and gives your background a small texture. I wanted to add something a bit more, so I gently brushed on a surface with my toothbrush, leaving these brush marks that look quite messy. I'm going to finish off this little sketch with more detail and create a standalone image. I really feel like some simple flowers are the way to go with this background. And because I thought that the final image was lacking something, I added some little yellow dots/stripes. You can see how these splatters and strokes created this messy and sort of windy look to my final image. It gave the image a little bit of movement, and without them my painting would have looked pretty plain. For this part you will need good old bubble wrap. As usual, I am going to quickly paint my background. This time I am using vibrant colors as I want to give this painting a nice, warm, summery feeling. When you are waiting for your paint to dry, you can cut your bubble wrap into small shapes. Try to have a mix of shapes and sizes. Now pick a color that you think will go well with your painting. You want to add water to the paint, just enough to easily distribute the paint over the bubble wrap. With the bubbles facing you, you need to coat them in paint. Just make sure your paint isn't too wet. It might not look like you have enough paint on, but trust me, there's plenty of it. Now you want to carefully place the bubble wrap where you want some texture and gently press down. This part needs a steady and careful hand. Leave the bubble wrap stuck to your painting for about 30 minutes to an hour. You want the paint underneath to be completely dry or semi-dry. When the paint is dry, it's time to remove the bubble wrap. You can really see how it creates these textured bubbles and adds a lot to the painting. I feel like adding some poppy pods, so I will do that using markers. And to finish it off, I'm quickly scattering some white dots with a gel pen. You can now really get this summery feeling, and bubble wrap adds a beautiful texture to the background. For this you will need some mesh. I use the mesh for bugs. This time we're creating a space-style background with pink and blue. I really fancied some extremely bold and vibrant colors. Now when the background is dry, you want to grab your mesh and make a little bundle with your hands. As usual, you want to also prep the color that you want. You then dip a little bit of that mesh into that color. Be careful not to completely cover the mesh with the paint. Now very gently dab it all around the areas you want some texture. if you add too much paint, it will make a bigger, more color concentrated blob. You can see how it leaves this light, slightly honeycomb type texture. I will finish this piece by giving it an abstract feel by adding some simple shape. I also thought that silver paint might look good, so I scattered some silver dots. You can really see how much this simple texture adds to the painting. Instead of a plain painting, you start having a more detailed one. For this you will need some sellotape, masking tape or whatever tape you have. I will be creating a more earthy background using burnt sienna and dark blue. These colors really go well together. As I have already showed you, you just slightly wet the chosen color and with the paintbrush distribute paint onto the tape. Then you want to gently, without pressing, put the tape onto the surface and remove it. Repeat this process until you have a desired result. This is one of my personal favorite ways of adding some texture to the background. I will finish this off by adding some leaves in black outline. Also, some gold will look really good on these colors, so I added some golden leaves too. But I still felt like something was missing, so I scattered some dots around to make it more complete. And now you can really see how much a little bit of sellotape can enhance the painting. I hope I was able to share some secrets about texture making that you haven't already known. As you saw in this video, that adding even a little bit of texture can really enhance your painting and make it come to life, add a little bit of a different feeling to it. I hope that I inspired you a little bit to try these different techniques. If you end up trying some of these techniques that I showed you in the video, make sure to upload them on Instagram and tag me at OneToothMuse so I can see them and share with the rest of the world. And as mentioned at the beginning of this video, this is going to be a two-part series with the second part coming out sometime next month. In the meantime, I have planned a couple of more creative process videos, so watch this space and hit that little bell icon too. I hope you are now going to go and experiment different ways of making texture. Tag me and I will see you next time. Bye for now, guys.